And
but it's my understanding that part of the reason that people voted against it was that they wanted to stay within the EU.
Ironically, I use the word ironic again, in the independence campaign, one of the arguments that was made by those who were against independence was that if Scotland voted to be independent, we would be thrown out of the European Union because the UK is the member state and we would have to reapply for membership. And that did scare some people. And here we are 4 years later, because we're not independent, we're been taken out of the European Union. So that undoubtedly brings the issue of independence back to the fore in many people's minds. We are in this position because we're not independent. 62% of people in Scotland voted to remain in the EU, and yet in a matter of weeks we could be outside the EU. So that democratic deficit that Scotland faces as being part of the UK undoubtedly makes many people want to look again at the issue of Scotland becoming an independent country.
And what about you? Are you looking again at the prospect of or supporting another referendum on Scottish independence?
I think there will be another independence referendum, and when that happens, I think Scotland this time will vote to be independent, and that will be a way of us then being able to protect our place in Europe and make sure that the decisions that influence the direction of our country are taken in Scotland, not in London. The timing of that is yet to be determined. Obviously, there's a lot of concern about the Brexit process just now, and as First Minister of Scotland, I've said that I'll set out my view on the timing of another independence referendum in the next few weeks, once we see how this Brexit process finally plays out.
But I'm pressing the question because it sounds to me as though you're saying that Scotland has had enough. So no matter what Britain decides to do, Scotland wants to be independent now because you've seen the most negative consequence, or even potential consequence. Even the potential consequence is enough to say to people enough is enough. So why not just call it then?
Well, what I'm saying is I think there will be another independent, and I think there should be another independence referendum. I'm not yet certain of exactly when that should happen. Because right now, a few weeks from Brexit, we don't know whether the UK will leave with a deal or leave without a deal, or perhaps not leave at all. There could be another general election in the UK because of this chaos. There might be another referendum on the issue of European Union membership. So I think we need to just wait and see a little bit about what's going to happen on these things before I come to a view on when the right time for an independence referendum would be.
Do you think I'm not quite sure what time frame, 3 years, 5, that Scotland will be applying to the EU as an independent nation?
I would love to think so, and I think it will. I'm not going to put a particular timescale on it right now, but in the not too distant future, I think Scotland will be an independent country.